posted a video yesterday, but for some reason, the sound in the car, it was so loud. It was very difficult to hear and understand for so many. So decided to not to do videos again while driving. And the video was about the war. The war proved and showed that Iran was so vulnerable and so alone. Before this war, that Iranian lobbies and influencers that infiltrated the US government as well in many agencies and levels, including the guy in DC, Trita Parsi, that had become the main advisor to Obama and Biden administration on Iran, an Iranian influencer, an Iranian lobbyist becomes advisor to US government. So ironic, so beyond reason. So in this war proved that Iran is so lonely. Iran's friends were only Hezbollah in Lebanon, Iraqi militia groups, and Houthis in Yemen. And these are the same groups that Iran created. And Iran created them for two reasons. One, to terrorize other governments, their own governments. So Lebanese Hezbollah can terrorize the Lebanese government and its neighbors. Iraqi Shia can terrorize Iraqi government and the neighbors. And Houthis in Yemen can terrorize Yemenis government and neighbors in defense of Iran, in war alongside Iran. And more important than that, the main purpose and reason for these called proxy groups, Iranian proxy groups, these Shia militia groups, is rooted in Shia theology. Iranian regime as a Shia government firmly believes that they are preparing the world for the return of their savior. They call him Mehdi. He was one of the sons of their imams, lived 1400 years ago. They say he went to hiding. He's been waiting for 1400 years and he's going to return. But he's not going to return to a world that is harmonious, peaceful, and friendly. He will only return if there's war and chaos. And he will return with his white horse, kill so many that the blood on the ground will rise to the knee of his horse. And the Shia government in Iran, they believe that they are the one that is going to facilitate his return. So that's why they created these Shia militia groups. In each country that has Shia population, they try to create a Shia militia group like a state. And in case like in Lebanon and in Iraq, these Shia groups have more weapons than their governments. Not exactly in Iraq, but in Lebanon, that was the case for so many years. They had bigger army than Lebanese government, and they had more weapons than Lebanese government. And one of these projects Iranian government tried to create was in Nigeria. Actually, in Nigeria, about 40 years ago, there were only a couple thousands of Shiites. But right now, there are over 1 million. Iran converted many indigenous people to Shiaism and tried to arm and weaponize them as well, but Nigerian government crushed them. So anyways, back to the main topic. The war proved that Iran is so lonely. Their neighbors, all of their neighbors, either they expressed publicly or not, all of their neighbors hoped, wished, and waited for Iran to be defeated. Some of them provided support to US and Israel, but some didn't. But one thing they had in common: they wanted the Iranian government to be defeated, and they wanted that happen at any cost. So Iran doesn't have allies. Any country, they don't have any country as ally, but they have the strongest ally. They have one very, very strong ally. And guess who that is? Iran's strongest ally is Democratic Party in America. Yes, you heard that right. Since the war started, the Democratic Party, all of their members, officials, you heard and saw their outburst, their outcry, their outrage against this war. They called it unjustified, illegal war on Iran. Many Iranians in Iran believe that this was justified and legal war. But Democratic Party here said it was illegal and unjustified and unjust. How does that happen? It is so sad. It is so disturbing. It is so insane that I can't really find appropriate words to describe it. The Democratic Party, they are not crazy people. They are not stupid. They are not low IQ. But the ideology, just like the ideology in Iran, the Iranian government ideology, the Democratic Party's policies, purpose, agenda has become an ideology rather than politics and policies that its only purpose should be to serve America, has become an ideology just like Shia religion, that they will do everything and anything to further the agenda, to make sure that the party wins elections, holds seats, and serves its donors and supporters at any cost, just like the Iranian government wanted to preserve and save the regime, the government, at any cost. Apart from the Iranian ally, the Democratic Party, Iran has other allies in America, and they are influencers and analysts on social media and traditional media, including Cenk Uygur, Tucker Carlson, Joe Kent, and many others alike. Iranian government started this project many years ago. They were looking to find opinion leaders, influencers in America, so they can be their voice in America to influence and steer public opinion against any official that turns against Iran, and steer opinion in favor of Iran. In fact, this is the only war that they are winning. The facts and figures show that these influencers, these opinion leaders like Tucker Carlson, Cenk Uygur, Trita Parsi, and many others alike, have been able to steer the public opinion from supporting Israel to supporting Iran. This is the downfall of the United States. This will lead to downfall of the United States if major measures are not taken to stop these foreign agents. This is beyond freedom of expression. This is beyond just they express their opinion. This poses a detrimental national security threat against US and Israel. How and who will stop this? I do not know. I would say Homeland Security and FBI should start investigating where and how these people are connected to Iran and how they are getting paid, and where this ideological connection between these people and Iran comes from. Today, this public sentiment, opinion against Israel, pro-Iran, will lead to attacks on Jewish population in America, will lead to attacks on US politicians in America, will lead to attacks on US institutions in America. This poses a grave danger against the peace, harmony, and stability within the country. And that was the promise of the Iranian government. They promised the General Soleimani that President Trump killed in his first term. That was his vision. That was his vision, that they will fight their enemies within their country, so the enemy wouldn't go to Iran to fight them there. And this is extremely, extremely critical. This needs to be investigated before it is too late.